Yes, y'all, and you don't stop. Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan. I hope you're doing well, mate. Really do hope that. Chelsea news, second video of the day. Heck, sometimes I do multiple videos in a day. If there's relevant stuff to talk about, to give you information on, and to express myself, I'm expressing all my full capabilities. And now I'm living in correctional facilities. So welcome back to Chelsea news. Today I want to talk about a bunch of stuff I've been reading about today. Stuff that Kante said, what's going on with Lewis Hall at Chelsea. He's going to come in and actually play left back, I guess. Surprise goalkeeping target and chief house Emi Martinez, and Chelsea make a statement about ticket prices, which is good, but also the season. Brave but necessary. So thanks for joining me. We're going to dive into all of it today. It's going to be an awful lot of fun. I thank you for liking and subscribing, as the content creators ask. And should you choose to subscribe, you're most welcome, and I suggest you hit the sweet, sweet bell. Alright, cracking into... Let's just start off with Lewis Hall. He's been blocked from going to England's under-20s, I believe. Still only 18, youngster. Because Chelsea apparently have got two injuries in the left-back situation. Ben Chilwell and now Marc Cucurella, Nizar Kinsella is reporting. So you've got two options left, and it's not many, especially if you're going to play a back four. If you're going to play a back four, and because when you play wing-backs, you can just play, your wide attackers. They will hate it, and it might cause just turd on the pitch, if you excuse my language. But, the back four worked against Bournemouth. Let's keep that train going, baby girl. So, Reece James is out for the season as well. So we are tight spot for fullbacks all of a sudden. You'd have to think right back would either be Cesar Azpilicueta or Trevor Chalobah. Of course, Trevor Chalobah played. We look better. You'd think he would play there. And then left back, you've got Cesar Azpilicueta to play that role as well. Or I guess Lewis Hall. Now, Lewis Hall is a midfielder who has been played at wing back, who I guess will play as a fullback now. He's quite petite, but he can get up and down the flank well, and he likes to dribble and invert. That's pretty modern in the Premier League. Fullbacks coming inside and combining and creating an overload in midfield. He'll certainly gravitate towards that naturally. So if we can... Frank Lampard and his magician and tactical team of masterminds can find a way to cover for that, I'm all for it. And to be honest, Lewis Hall's a baller. He's done nothing wrong. He's so young, yet he never looks out of place. He hasn't quite exploded onto the scene like teenage Billy Gilmore did when he was just taking names in every single competition, winning man of the match. Extraordinary when you reflect back on Billy Gilmore. Incredible. I don't think he's the kind of player Pochettino likes, even if we've got a buyback on him. I think Pochettino likes more destroyers, sort of big bodies in the midfield. No matter how gifted Billy Gilmore is, people won't overlook his size, which is a shame, really. But you should just do like a Modric, go to La Liga and knock the ball about. Anyway, I digress. Good. Lewis Hall, left back. Before we talk about Emi Martinez, let's talk about N'Golo Kante. So, we are hoping N'Golo Kante extends at Chelsea. I think we're all hoping that. I certainly am hoping that. He spoke to Sky or Football Daily, and they're the same thing now, aren't they? Sky Sports. I think they bought Football Daily. I'm not entirely sure. And he says he's enjoying football again. I'm still playing football, so it's not time to rest. I hope more trophies and more titles. This is my target. The humble, sweet little man is driven. He still wants to win. The interviewer, she goes on to talk about how this season's been difficult maybe, but like Chelsea are in a time of transition, evolution, growth, project. It's exciting, but it's building from the ground up. And if he wants to be Kante, do you want to be a part of this project, And bearing in mind, he's got media duties, but I think he can, say no to these interviews, especially if you're in the midst of contract negotiation where you might just leave the club, in the summer, or you might, do you know what I mean? So I think he probably knew this could come, this question. So he probably almost, part of him, one would assume or speculate that, he liked this opportunity to say, yeah. And indeed, he answers this question by saying, yes, for sure. It's an exciting project. This season has not been the standard of Chelsea. Everyone wants it to go in the way of success. But he's saying, yeah, I want to be a part of this project, yes, for sure. And he says, yes, it's an exciting project. And the thing is, right, it is really worth mentioning and speaking about that, of course, for the fans, it's painful. And of course, for all football observers, fans, ingesters, anyone who watches and enjoys football, they laugh at Chelsea. Fair enough. It's been a meme, and they look at it from the outside, and you go, what a circus, what a, joke. But inside, there is a recurring theme, or behind the scenes, or behind the football curtain, as it were. Footballers are really interested in Chelsea, and not for money. Chelsea offering these new basic salaries. I think their agents obviously are intelligent football people, and not all of them, by the way, because often footballers just get their brothers or dads to be their agents just to give them find a way to give them some money on the books, sort of thing, But proper football agents, they understand the project, they understand what's going on behind the scenes at a club, and they understand the true agenda and intentions. And players are being pushed towards Chelsea, and players are understanding, actually, yeah, this is kind of the place to be. Whether you're like Joao Felix, who a bunch of clubs wanted, or Enzo Fernandez, who was the world star and could have just waited. He could have just waited. Benfica didn't want to sell him. They only sold him because we freaking strong-armed him over and over and over, and he kicked up. But he could have been no, I'm just going to wait to the end of the season. I've just won the World Cup, best young player, and I'm having a great season before and after the World Cup. I can continue to do this, and I could pick between Barcelona, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich. Do you know what I mean? He could have done that. But no, he really wanted to come to Chelsea. They are all learning that something's going on at Chelsea. Something is cooking at Chelsea, and the players, the players can see that. The players are apparently knowing that, and this goes with youngsters, and this can go like Kante. He wants to be a part of it. So it is, as much as on the outside, and who knows when we will succeed, but they have intentions and plans. Who doesn't? Hey, let's move on. So speaking of players, or a player that might want to come to Chelsea, and I say Emi Martinez. Emi Martinez is being linked to Chelsea, right? Tottenham, Chelsea, Manchester United are all interested. Now, United, for obvious reasons, David De Gea. Tottenham, for pretty obvious reasons as well. Hasn't Hugo Lloris been dropped now? I think he's just cooked now, isn't he? And then Chelsea because, Now, the thing is with Chelsea, what kind of goalkeeper we want? I think Graham Potter and Pochettino might be slightly different, but Emi Martinez has been linked. Now, he's not young, is he, Martinez? He's got to be I think he's 30 plus. Yeah, he's 30 on the money. 31 in the beginning of September. So, yeah, he's, he's older than Kepa. And I don't know how good he is with his feet, but boy, oh boy, is he a character. He wants to. It's very, very likely that he leaves Aston Villa in the summer. Apparently, he already feels like he can take that jump again to a top four. He would have probably been Arsenal's number one. He probably should have been actually, but before they bought Ramsdale, they had him and Leno, but they sort of sacked him off, and he went to Villa. Of course, he won a title against us at the FA Cup final, and of course, he went and won the Ruddy World Cup, and he's an absolute. I don't want to swear, but sugar house. And we need a little bit of that at Chelsea. We're missing it. And he would certainly bring it. I don't know how good he is with his feet, but the strongest metrics on FBref are crosses related, essentially. So crosses stopped and crosses stopped percentage. There's no one better. Now, this Kepa is terrible at this. He's got slightly better, but he just flaps at crosses all the time. So much... relief when you see your goalkeeper just claim a cross. That's why when Mendy came into this Chelsea team and just started calmly claiming crosses as a really tall dude. It just changed our lives emotionally. I don't think Edouard Mendy is that good a goalkeeper. I said it. I think he's pretty good. I think he followed a profoundly historic, awful season from Kepa, where he had like the worst save percentage in the 47 million leagues. But, you know, clearly he was going through something that's improved much this season since he's come back into the side. But Mendy, I think, knew he was having an easy gig to follow, essentially, much like Pochettino and, you know, Lampard Potter. He's like, yeah, I can't do any worse than this lot. And he came in and, you know, he just was decent at making saves, went in form, and that was sort of it. He's really bad with his feet, Mendy, and that's obviously why Kepa's come back in ultimately. But I like him, and I'm so grateful that we had this incredible story of Edouard Mendy, that we were essentially the platform to lift him into greatness. You know, Champions League winning goalkeeper, which won him FIFA Best. Of course, he won AFCON, but probably felt like quite imbued with confidence. I don't know how good he was in that competition. The penalty he saved was quite soft. Anyway, I digress. Emi Martinez, 30-year-old, so he'd have to come in. He'd probably sign a 4-year deal. He'd probably sign on relatively affordable wages coming from Villa. It's just really, could Pochettino work with him? That's the big question. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on Emi Martinez down below, and Kante as well. Let's quickly move and talk about what Chelsea is saying. Right, so they've done that the fans are solid after the Chelsea Supporters Trust wrote something about the tickets, saying, look, if you've put these ticket price up, then it is going to become hella toxic. And hell yeah, bro, like, they were right to do so, because we've endured, you know, and been very patient with a historically bad season, you know. So Chelsea have obliged, but they've also sort of made a statement on the said season. So I wanted to read it off the website. It's only short, and we can talk about it. The season has not produced the results that any of us want. Good start. We know what we are working towards. We know what we are working towards. But equally, we know that will require hard work, determination, and commitment. Well, it's good that you ain't quitting on us now after leaving us mid-table. We all want to see Chelsea back where we belong and share many more winning moments together at Stamford Bridge. Good. The adult general admission tickets, GA, season tickets, have been frozen since 2011-12, meaning since 2005, season ticket prices have fallen in terms of 32%. Like many industries, basically, I think they're talking about how the industry's going. Like many industries, our costs have also risen significantly. Operating Stamford Bridge and delivering match days has been particularly subjected to inflationary pressures, up by 31% since 2018. So it's basically saying, it's tough out here. Yeah, that's what they're saying. I mean, it's fair enough, I guess. But they say, equally, we are acutely aware of the rise of cost of living. Good. And the impact that it has on our supporters. That is a good PR win from Chelsea saying that. Cost of living, because many of you guys, you know, obviously watching this come from all around the world. Actually, only a very minor percentage come from the UK that watches this channel. But it is screwed up here, man. Like it is in many countries in the world, but yeah, the cost of living is really gnarly at the moment. So it's really good for them to reference this. And they say, looking at all these factors, the board has decided to freeze GA season tickets for the next season, which is good. It's a really good move. But they go on to say, the club needs to grow all our revenue streams, including match day, to ensure we operate on a sustainable basis. So like, guys, this will go up eventually. We need to make... Well, yeah, this is why they build a bigger stadium, isn't it? They build a bigger stadium, they make more money. You know, they probably put ticket prices a little bit anyway, and then they've got way more people in the stadium. We will take some time next season to review our overall ticketing strategy and approach, eventually putting it up, no doubt, consulting with our fan advisory board, of course, the new board they've put together, and our key stakeholders to ensure the supporters' voices are heard as we look for the future. Good. You had Bowie talking about the fan. You know, a couple of years before he bought Chelsea, we've got him on record, we've got him on tape, mate. You've got to look after the fans. This will include looking at a number of different price points across the stadium to ensure all our seats reflect their value and demand, alongside a review of the current approach to concessions. Yeah, which is good. We recognise and greatly appreciate the ongoing commitment our fans continue to make in showing their support for the team. That's true. A team that is stinking up the ruddy gaff every single week, bar Bournemouth. I mean, what's going to happen against Forest? It could go either way, couldn't it? But we're staying up. The project starts now. Well, it started ages ago and it's gone wrong so far. But it starting in the famous words of LEG, starting again from now. For those who know will know. Thank you for joining me. Comment down below. Of course, Poch could be announced tonight, tomorrow, and should that happen, I will talk about it and upload a video for you guys. So make sure you do hit the bell when you subscribe, and thank you for liking the video, and just, you know, I love you very much.